Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and we're back with another shorter pod, same as we did yesterday, just rounding up the news. We're going to do quite a few of these, a series of these, maybe 3 or 4 a week, just rounding up the week. The day's news, sorry, and then we'll continue with our match reaction and our longer form pods when we're doing match reviews, match previews, and anything else we want to do. But yeah, thanks very much for your support. Kev's news update from yesterday was received really well, and we've gained a number of subscribers over the course of the day. So yeah, please, if it's the first time you're checking us out, if you've checked us out a few times, please leave a like on the video. Please give us a subscribe if you're new to the channel. That would be absolutely fantastic. So we obviously had Steven Gerrard's press conference today, where we're just going to give a little reaction to it. I don't think there was anything too surprising. What was more surprising that we've got a game Monday and it was happening on Thursday, which seems quite far ahead. But I think in terms of the questions he was asked, I don't think there was too many surprises. Intimated that he's still under a little bit of pressure, not out of the woods yet. And certainly not. And it does feel like the Forest game, if he does get a victory, I think that might buy him a little bit of time. But equally, if he gets a defeat, I think the pressure ramps right up, especially with Chelsea to follow and so many more games in October. He did talk around the little bit of positivity around, the last 3 results. We've kept 2 clean sheets in the last 2 games, only conceded 1 goal in the last 3. But for missed chances against Leeds, it would have been a fairly comfortable victory. But that's not to excuse the attacking mistakes up front. Missing a lot of chances. If a defender makes a mistake or goalkeeper makes a mistake, invariably it's a goal. They get a lot of criticism. The strikers have to bear the brunt of that for missing chances, and particularly Ollie Watkins, who I'd be hoping if he does start on Monday, will be keen to repay the faith that Gerrard would have put into him, because we can't be missing chances like that again. But yeah, he did say we've laid the foundations for better performances, and I, as I've said on this podcast, a lot of it comes from good defending. And if your strikers and forward players and attacking players know that if they do attack and they lose the ball or make a mistake, it's not going to cause chances or goals at the other end, and they've got the freedom to do stuff. So fingers crossed. The signs in defence with the performances of Mings, Konsa, Ashley Young, Emi Martinez, and whoever else in that defence, really does start to give the attackers some impetus to move forwards. Obviously, he was asked about injuries and the current fitness situation. So in terms of that, I think Luca Dean and Augustinson are out, a little bit more long term. It did say Dean is a funny one. He doesn't really know when he's going to be back in terms of a definite time frame. Augustinson's got a hamstring injury, so we're looking at 3 to 4 weeks, which is a little bit of a shame because he was playing quite well. In terms of other injuries or other updates, Leon Bailey picked up a slight muscle injury from the game against Leeds. Does that mean that opens the door right up for Buendia? Did say he's not ruling himself out quite yet. Callum Chambers could be back. He trained a half a session today, which is Thursday, and will train on Friday and then see how he is for Monday. And then I suppose the best news out of the whole lot is Matty Cash is back. So that gives us much needed I'd say defensive knock cover, a starter. He'll definitely come in, and it's big news, and he's going to be playing against his old club. Hopefully he's fully fit. He's back in full training, and yeah, should be fit and ready and firing to go against his old club. But yeah, I mean, obviously Ashley Young's done fantastically well. I would assume that Young will move to that left-hand side. I think the centre backs will pick themselves, and then Matty Cash will slot in at that right back slot, and it can't come soon enough because, you know, with Augustinson and Digne injured, you know, and we've talked about the players out on loan, Kessler Hayden, etc. We need Cash back in the side as soon as possible. So yeah, that was interesting. And as I say, the pressure is going to be really on the players on Monday. Did talk around pressure on Steve Cooper, and we did say that, you know, as I said, he's not out of the woods, but the dreaded vote of confidence has been given to Steve Cooper. You know, commented on the 23 players being brought in by Nottingham Forest, which totally eclipses our number of players that we brought in when we first came up. And yeah, you know, you've got to think if he doesn't pick up 1 or 2 results in the next few weeks, he looks like he's going to be potentially replaced by Rafa Benitez, which, you know, it would be a shame for Cooper because he's done a great job with Nottingham Forest. They're a really good club to be back in the Premier League, and it just shows, you know, the brutal nature of the Premier League. It'd be interesting to see if he doesn't go a little bit more pragmatic, like Gerrard has done the last few weeks, and tries to shut up shop and maybe score one on the break. But I don't think the Forest faithful, the Forest fans will maybe accept that against Aston Villa. But we will see. We will do a full match preview on Sunday, and I will be on 1 or 2, or myself or Kev or one of the guys will be on 1 or 2 Nottingham Forest channels, just previewing the game. So look out for that as it comes. A final little piece was Paul Scholes gave his opinions on Ollie Watkins, and as we know, missed lots of chances on Sunday, and kind of echoed a lot of the thoughts that I think most Villa fans have regarding Watkins, in the fact that, you know, he does so much work for the team, and he's almost like your ideal striker to lead the line, but he just can't finish. And you know, it's a real shame, you know, for Watkins, because it's just that part of the game that is lacking, unfortunately. And I don't know if it'll improve for him. He's a real handful for defenders. I think, you know, if you ask Virgil van Dijk, if you ask 1 or 2 other top defenders, they would say that Ollie Watkins is probably one of the hardest strikers I have to play against. But you put him in front of goal, and, you know, even all those strikes on Sunday, you think just lift one of them, just make it a little bit harder for the goalkeeper, but seems to hit it straight at the goalkeeper every time. And I don't know. Hopefully, if he does get the nod on Monday, he puts one of those chances away, because I do think that, you know, the other conversation is, does Danny Ings come in? And I don't think Danny Ings gets those chances that Ollie Watkins does. And then the other conundrum is, do you risk an untried, you know, mostly untried youngster in Cameron Archer, who should be breaking down the door to Gerrard's office to get a shot? So we will see. Let us know in the comments what you think regarding the Watkins situation. You know, I think Michael Owen made some comments about him as well. But yeah, it's interesting to know that, you know, you can't have everything in a striker. Do you want the one who's going to run the channels and harry the defenders, but not necessarily be great at finishing, or do you want one who's not quite got that work rate but puts the ball in the back of the net when you need to? Or do you just want Erling Haaland, which unfortunately we can't all have? But let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think about Gerrard's press conference and the injury situation. If there's any other players or any other changes that you might make, and we'll get them all sorted for the match preview. I think that will be on Sunday. But yeah, all that's left to say is thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks very much for watching. Please leave a like on this video, just to help us spread the word. And please give us a subscribe if you haven't already. And the only thing that's left to say is, remember, we all follow the Villa. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.